Okay, so we'll look now at the volume of a cone. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h, where r is the radius and h is the height. Now this is given to you on a formula booklet, so you just need to be able to use this formula. Example 1 then, calculate the volume of the following cones, given your answers to 1 decimal place. So our volume, remember, is 1/3 pi r squared h. So that's 1/3 times pi times 7 squared times 20. So on your calculator, 1/3 times pi times 7 squared, or times 49, times 20. And it says give your answers to 1 decimal place. So we get 1026. It says 25 in the calculator, so round that to 0.3. It's a volume. Our lengths are in centimeters, so our units are centimeters cubed. Part B then. Remember, it's 1/3 pi r squared h. So it's 1/3 times pi. Now this time it gives us the diameter is 8, so our radius would be 4, and our height is 9. So 1/3 times pi times 4 squared, or 16, times 9. And again, it's to 1 decimal place. So we've got 150.79, so that rounds up to 8. And again, our units are centimeters cubed. Example again, very similar. Calculate the volume of the following cones. The only difference here is that it wants your answers in terms of pi. So our first one, volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. So that's 1/3 by pi by our radius is 9, so 9 squared, and our height is 10. So you can leave out the pi and just do 1/3 times 9 squared by 20, and that gives us 540 pi. And then remember, you still need your units, so it's centimeters cubed. Part B, volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. So it's 1/3 by pi. This time it gives you the diameter, so our radius is 6, and our height is 15. So 1/3 by 6 squared by 15 gives you 180, so that's 180 pi. And then we'll have to put in our units. Our lengths are in millimeters this time, so our units are millimeters cubed. Example 3 then, a wee bit more complicated. This time it gives you the volume and you're asked to find x. So again, write our formula, 1/3 pi r squared h. So our volume here is 1000 equals 1/3 times pi times our radius is 7, so 7 squared, and our height this time is x. So 1/3 times pi times 7 squared would give us 49/3 pi. So we've got 1000 equals 49/3 pi times x. We want to bring this across to the other side, and when we're bringing it across, it'll be a divide by 49/3 pi. So 1000 divided by that gives us 19.48. So 19.5 to 1 decimal place. It's a length, so our units are centimeters. Part B, again, nearly the same. So volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. So our volume this time is 17. 1/3 times pi. Now, our diameter is 2.8, so our radius is 1.4 and our height is x. So let's do this bit on our calculator. So we have a third times pi times 1.4 squared, and it gives us 49 over 75 pi by x. Now we want to take this across, which means we'll have 17 divided by 49 over 75 pi. So it's 17 divided by that, and it gives us that x is 8.28, so that's 8.3 to 1 decimal place. It's a length, and it's in centimeters. The last one then, our volume this time is 195, and our height is 20, and this time we're looking for the radius. So remember our formula, volume equals a third pi r squared h, so we'll get 195 equals a third times pi times x squared times 20. And this time if we multiply a third by pi by 20, we get 20 over 3 pi by x squared. We want to then bring this across, and it becomes divide by 20 over 3 pi. Now this time, instead of getting x, we'll get x squared. So we're going to do that on our calculators. So it's 195 divided by 20 over 3 pi, and we get 9.311. And then to get x, we take the square root of that, and we get 3.05, so 3.1 to 1 decimal place, and again it's a length, and it'll be centimeters.